And I want to honor, number one, my co-host, who is also a veteran. Woo-hoo! And so, this is about her and all of her military foxhole buddies. Hey. And I'm going to say that because I don't know what they call each other, compadres, or something like that, but I'm going to say foxhole buddies because I have told other brothers who simplify simple. Being said, my co-host, V-Queen, a veteran, normally do haikus for whoever we have as a feature. But we decided that after 2.5 years, going on 3 years, we have used features to promote haikus, and we have did the whole 9 yard, and they have blessed us and honored us. And so we decided that we don't need features anymore because we are features. Hey, that's true. And so with that being said, what we want to do is promote haikus with people who not have an opportunity, because what we'll do now is we'll have special guests. And so, like I said, she normally do haikus to promote or to honor our features. And so I decided to do some haikus. And I actually wrote them today while I was at work thinking about it. And so anyway, I wrote maybe 2 or 3 haikus, and then I'm going to turn it over to her and let her honor the veterans in a manner that she know how the veterans should be honored. And so here we go. An army of one, be all you can be. A soldier story. Okay. Again. An army of one, be all you can be. A soldier story. Okay. Virtuous Queen joined a few good women to honor country. Okay. Because we gotta honor you women that did that. So here we go again. Virtuous Queen joined a few good women to honor country. Because it ain't always about a few good men. All right. True that. Straight up. Okay. Now, here's my last one, and then I'm going to turn it over to her. Okay. We haiku yin yang. She my ride or die side chick. Woo. We foxhole buddies. Hey. Snap. Okay. Here we go again. That's that balance. And then I'm going to turn it over to her and let her do what she do. We haiku yin yang. She my ride or die side chick. We foxhole buddies. So ladies and gentlemen.
Ready? You good? Alright.
Hi.
Yes, I have red hair. And no, I can sing. Okay. So, like she said, I met her, I don't know, I've known her about a year. This is my coming out, I guess you could say. I am known in a way different community. But I used to be known in the inner city community 4 years ago. But I moved. Now I'm back. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that, man. I'm 100% service connected. I'm 40 years old and I'm retired. Alright? I love it, but I hate it. I'm here tonight, not so much for me. I got this shirt on because I was with the Marines. I'm a doc. I'm the most laid back person you can even ever meet. But I've died 8 times and I've had 47 surgeries.
My Lord. My Lord.
Yeah. I have a brain tumor. It's not cancerous. They've already fixed it once. They can't fix it again. I've survived any type of trauma you can even imagine. 2 guys that tried to kill me. I let my sister adopt my kids. They live right down the street. I see them all the time. She knows all this. So I'm an advocate for human trafficking because I was trafficked for 3 months 2 years ago. Right here in St. Louis on Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh. I have a connection with the city. All races, colors, kids. I work with the politicians here in St. Louis, all the way up to the governor, friends with the governor. I do these videos. I come out here and speak. I've had a lot of stuff published, but not within the past 6 years because I was hurt. Mental illness, it is a key to what any race or color goes through. I'm here tonight to honor my dad because I just lost my dad this month. My dad was my rock. My dad is a Vietnam vet. He was a Marine Corps recon sniper, Delta Force. He was a 4-man team. There was 4 of them. His best friend from high school, 2 other guys, and him. He lost his best friend in Vietnam because he bent down to tie his shoe and the bullet was meant for him and it shot his best friend who was the radio man.
My Lord.
He carried his best friend out and brought him home. They mapped POW camps in Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam and drop them down and they'd have a recovery point. If they did not come, I grew up with these stories. These were just oral history stories. If they weren't there at the recovery point, they didn't get home. There's lots of horror stories my dad grew up with. There were lots of good ones too. Then he went to Iraq. He was also in Panama. There's lots of good stories too that he had. Brought me fun because we finally got a hold of somebody that, when I was a kid, he had a best friend named Russell. And just last night, this man, Russell, messaged me back. And I wasn't expecting to actually include this, but I wanted to read what this man wrote about his time with my dad, because it'll give you guys perspective into the poem that I'm going to read that I wrote. I wrote a 4-line 5-block haiku style in honor of my dad.
Hey.
But he says that, so sorry to hear about your dad. He was a great role model and mentor for me back in the early 80s. I wish I could have seen him more, and I hope you or your sister told him that I asked about him and gave him my best when we first got in touch with each other. We had a lot of good times together, hanging out on weekends at drill at JB or after drilling down in Central America. They back when if y'all remember, back when they had all that crap going on down in Noriega down in
Panama.
Yeah, that's money. So, I guess I can say that now that he's dead. Because my dad did get out of the Marine Corps, and then he did join the Army, so he had an honor guard Army funeral, which has to tie in with what's going to be talked about in the poem. I have very fond memories of your dad. He was the best. Once again, very sorry to hear this news. So, I mean, my dad, I remember him touching lots and lots and lots of people, but I also remember him teaching me how to walk a wet newspaper with combat boots at 7 years old to learn how to sneak up on people and strangle them. So, I mean, it was a very there was a huge duality to my childhood growing up with white glove inspections, and I was the son he never had. It was a very weird childhood. They would take family vacations and leave me at home because they trusted me for 2 weeks home alone.
Yeah.
What parent does that, okay? I mean, yeah, but I never threw parties. I appreciate you inviting me out here.
Oh, well, you know.
Sure.
And I'm very comic. Sorry, you guys know me.
You come eat.
I've lived 28 states and 17 countries. So I've lived everywhere, guys. You can ask me anything. And I'm nervous.
Do it
so
rain in
bear with me.
California? Southern California?
This is not my forte. My forte is usually the political ground, so this is just me really getting me. All right. I hope y'all like it as much as my family did, so. I'm just used to people reading it and publishing it, not me reading it. Okay. I figure if I can win you guys over, then I can get up and read in front of hundreds of people, so. This one's for my dad. A sky in gray, a ground in red, and a wind so deep held overhead. The shells ring loud, the beagle plays, the family waits, the clicks are made. The colors are turned, 1 and 2, and 3 and snap. They unfold the flag. 1 fold, 2 fold, refold tuck. Oh glory, we hand you now to a woman you did not love. That little brown box in a wall now forever, entombed like a shrine, is not what you wanted.
All right.
Oh.
I was injured in Iraq. Me too. My sister right here, I am too. 100% disabled.
I'm trying to get there.
And just like you, baby, at about 41 years old, I didn't have to work no more.
Woo.
See, I got blew off the truck and lucky to be standing here right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Powerful.
saying? But I'm glad to be here.
I was in the
You
church.
know, and the shit happened, and this is what happened. No, PTSD, you're absolutely right. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
It isn't.
You know, it's real, and if you don't look at it being like that, okay, let me explain something to you. We had a young, that white man, what was that? It was just recently, he was a soldier. First, that man was a hero. Now he a mass murderer.
Yeah.
Wow.
But 3 days before he did what he did, he was a fucking hero. Now he's a mass murderer. Now, is it because he had PTSD and the government didn't take care of him and get him the help that he needed?
Could be.
Say that.
But see, right now, today, that hero that went over there and risked his life to come home, right now, today, he's a mass murderer. He ain't a hero no more. That hero, that shit hero went out the window. Because now, he's a mass murderer. Period. That hero shit gone. But is it his fault? Did he come home and say, fuck it, I'm going to go kill all these people? Or was it that the government didn't give that man the help that he needed to stop him from doing the shit that his dumb ass did to make him go from a hero
To a zero.
to a mass
Murderer.
Say that.
End of story.
That was deep.
My veterans that's in here right now, I'm going to take this out here so I can look at this, may understand what this point means. But I want y'all to listen to this because it's going on. I'm going to have to hold this too.
Come on, we gotta work on this
So I can
one.
have that connection.
All right.
Now the name of this piece, see, I usually don't read. I am a poet. I have an open mic too. That's Wednesday Wine and Words. But I usually write and do stuff with my music. But right now I'm going to read something that I wrote out of my book when I returned home from the service. And the name of this piece is called They're Already Here. Let me repeat the name of the title of this book, of this poem. The title of this poem is They're Already Here. Homeland Security, what a joke. Let me make this perfectly clear. The terrorists that they're trying so hard to keep out, believe me, they're already here. We hear about terrorist cells and the country just waiting to react. I'm sure they're here in our communities already preparing for an attack. They have billions of dollars at their disposal and access to our basic needs. They have properties all around the world, and to them they hold the deeds. We know how they use cell phones, as they say, when it rains it pours. Who's to say that they're not ringing the phones that you're buying out of their fucking stores? Understand, we buy meat from these people. They have access to the food we eat. I'm not trying to bring chaos to the problem at hand, but some could be dying as I speak. My thoughts and opinions are mine alone, and for my country I do fear. But I'm clearly stating these cells are waiting. I'm afraid they're already here. We're over there fighting, as Bush said, to preserve their way of life. The pain we feel in the back in this war is George Bush's wielding a knife. So clear your thoughts of 9/11 and be aware of what to fear. Let the government worry about those trying to get in and watch those that's already here. That's my piece. This one was one of the favorite ones that I wrote. And it's called I Feel a Draft.
Okay.
Y'all do understand what a draft is, right?
Lord knows I do.
All right, let's get this right. Now, I ain't talking about the damn wind blowing.
Ooh.
When I first heard Bush say 40,000 more troops to Iraq, at first, it made me laugh. Then this cold chill came over me. I believe I feel a draft. No one is volunteering anymore, and they are sending the same soldiers again. Bush can't foresee a victory or conceive as this will end. On the news, we see soldiers dodging bullets in the streets. What they don't show is the bodies of our loved one covered with bloody sheets.
Yes.
At home, we mourn their passings. Our flags fly at half-staff. It's coming. Can't you feel it? I tell you, I feel a draft. I'm thinking about joining the army. Come on, talk to me, Dad. Every time I see that commercial, it reminds me things are bad. Telling the parent to go telling the parent to go online to tell the child, telling a parent to go online while children are over here dying. Someone in the White House is smoking drugs. I tell you, their brains are frying. We're fighting 2 wars already. Our forces are cut in half. The president is setting the stage. I tell you, I feel a draft. Troops are leaving in battle gear to fight insurgents in Iraq and returning home in cargo planes and silver unmarked boxes. Brace yourself, it's coming. Older vets know what's in store. They're going to war, drafting children to supply bodies for a war. You can think what you see on TV is bad. If you think what you see on TV is bad and what's here is already scary, wait till they tell you have to go and it's no longer voluntary. I feel a draft. That's the piece, y'all.
That's a
It's not even about you. Dude, it's not even about you. It's the vibrations from the drum that travel through my soul.
ooh.
Don't get it twisted. I love your talent, not you. Although it's an extension of you, I still love your talent, not you. All right. That's what's supposed to be like telling all the celebrities they love me. So y'all don't love them celebrities, y'all just love their talent. Right. Anyway, the next one is I'm not, allow me. I'm not going to be all things to everybody all the time. I'm not going to be all things to everybody all the time. And to be effective, I must have time for myself. So when I'm quiet, don't force me to talk. Allow me my time. Allow me my serenity. Allow me.
Okay.
And then my last one is I define me.
Amen.
Never allow anyone to write your life script.
Yes.
Never allow anyone to mold you into their ideology of what they think you should be. Always remind yourself, I define me.
That's true.
Don't try to fit in, stand out, grow and develop you, improve on you. Do you. Do what you love. Don't look for validation for your dreams and goals. Always remind yourself, I define me. When you continue to be yourself and do you, when you continue to be true to you, you'll attract those who are meant to be in your circle. You won't have to try and fit in or go looking for validation from others. Just always remind yourself, I define me. And then you will see who you are, who you truly are becoming. Love yourself. Be true to yourself. You are worth it. So just always remind yourself, I define me. Repeat that.
I define me.
I am worth it. Repeat that.
I am worth it.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I define me.
I define me.
Thank you. Y'all so awesome.
But
Cherry.
for those military ones that served and on their way to serve and past, present, and future, I want to read this piece. Freedom is not free. None of us are free, neither you or me. I watched the flag pass by one day. It fluttered in the breeze. A young soldier saluted it, and then he stood at ease. I looked at him in uniform, so young, so tall, so proud. He stood out in any crowd. I thought how many men and women like him had fallen through the years, how many had died on foreign soil, how many mothers' tears, how many pilots' planes shot down, how many died at sea, how many foxholes were soldiers' graves. No, freedom isn't free. I heard the sounds of taps one night. When everything was still, I listened to the bugler play and felt a sudden chill. I wondered just how many times that taps had meant amen. When a flag had dropped the coffin of a brother or a friend, I thought of all the children, of the mothers and wife and men, of fathers, sons, and husbands with interrupted lives. I thought about a graveyard at the bottom of the sea, of unmarked graves in Arlington. No, freedom isn't free. We're not free, neither you or me. There's no freedom.
Looking for the bigger picture. They quick to smoke your weed up, but ain't nobody really with you. Palms is itching, trying to make $1 in the system, and still not become a victim. They telling me the jail cell the closest thing to hell. So if my lawyer failed, tell the judge we got bail. Free them all, that's the call. And it can't stop, won't stop until the day we ball and Babylon fall. They build walls, but I build bridges in a tunnel for them riches. I'm married to the game, I ain't worried about them witches. I had to learn to be a man and pick up my britches, but I got some war wounds that still ain't got no stitches, but it's time to heal. I don't know what's fake or real, so I just leave it alone and ask God to reveal his plan so we can overstand. Making them billions over the bands, take my people to the promised land, and I am. Here's to the party. And they ask, and they ask, and they ask, and I tell, are you a revolutionary? Raise your fist, raise your fist, raise your fist up to the sky again. Here's to the party. Right on.
Hey!
I'm not going to tell you the history of the poem and then read it. The poem will actually tell you what happened. And so I composed a speech. This is my second time playing the violin in public. So if it doesn't sound that cool, I mean, sorry. Just remember that you heard it
First.
This way, this day.
Yeah, there you go.
Wonderful.
Come on with it.
Wow. Here we go again. Another young lady stands tall in the face of domestic violence, but she refuses to remain silent. She is fighting for her own existence. Persistence is her fuel for her sanity. She would not be broken regardless of her broken injuries. I had literally just met her. She was tall, beautiful, golden brown skin. I could tell that she had the presence of a warrior, but her energy was dwindling, getting thin, and I can't pretend that I didn't notice her arm and bandages. I was intrigued, so I asked her, "How did you break your arm?" And she wasn't alarmed. She didn't hold back and grabbed a strap and said, "Domestic violence," and then my soul cracked. She caught me off guard, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react, and she gave me a straightforward answer just like that. She told me that the man who confessed his love to her, thrown her out of a moving vehicle, is inconceivable, it's unbelievable, and my heart cried out for her pain, and I prayed to God that her relationship, she didn't remain. Please tell me that she didn't stay. You see, in that kind of life, on sunny days, it still rains. We continue to converse with verses that wasn't rehearsed. I thought about previous friends that ended up in hearses, like Lakeisha, who got killed at work, or Tina, who got stabbed and killed in her own home, or Monique, who got killed coming out of choir rehearsal. You see, nothing is sacred. She didn't have support from her family. She said the police would only help her when she ended up dead, apparently, for some crazy reason. Her mom doesn't think that she should even leave him, and that's insanity. These are not only memories, but this is her current reality. Her mentality is a victim of brutality. Her spirituality is a casualty. Her quality of her life doesn't include serenity. In the midst of drama, it's hard to embrace divinity. I wish her the best for now until infinity. How many times will she need to change her number? How many times will she need to worry about her slumber? How many times will she need to change her location? How many times will she lie to her children and be scared of having relations? You see, she's still going through it. And I pray for her to find peace. I pray that our conversation was somewhat of a release. And one day I hope she will be free of his malice and his deceit and no longer live in fear. I pray that she will no longer drown herself in her tears.
Man.